of more than 65 million birr. A delegation led by Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed has visited development projects in Metro Town. Let us trace out the story.
A delegation led by Ethiopian Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed has been welcomed by Ilubabor Zone residents. On the event, cornerstone has been laid for the construction of Ethiopian Commodity Exchange Warehouse Metro Branch. The Market Center project is said to be built at a cost of about 66 million birr. The center will have product quality assurance laboratory. Adding 33 stores will also be built in the center. Chief Executive Officer of Ethiopian Commodity Exchange Maganyo Nagara said construction of the center will be finalized within 9 months up to 1 year. The project is expected to create job opportunities for 143 job seekers, including youth of its vicinity. The chief executive officer underscored that the project will play an indispensable role in supplying export products both in quality and quantity through creating market linkage.
It enables the farmers of the zone to get appropriate price for their products by conducting evidence-based transaction.
According to OBN Shamsuddin Hussein, 80,000 tons of coffee beans collected annually throughout Ilubabor zone from 172,000 hectares of land. Recognition has been given to this coffee on the event. Some people Oben talked to said they will contribute to the realization of the project. They hope that it will have greater contribution to the Oromo economy. Asphalt road project from Matur Teachers College up to Matur University has also been inaugurated.
Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed and President of the Oromia Regional State, Lamma Magarsa, have held discussion with residents of Metro Town of Ilubabor Zone of Oromia Regional State. Olma Baina reports.
Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed, together with President of the Oromia Regional State, Lamma Magarsa, has conferred with representatives of Ilubabor Zone people in Metro Town. People of the zone have expressed their happiness for the two leaders' presence in their zone. They have also raised various questions concerning limitations of infrastructure found in different parts of the zone.
People of Ilubabor zone have many questions of infrastructure development. We ask our questions in a peaceful way. People's questions shouldn't be answered through struggle. For instance, Matu University has not been serving the community of this zone to the extent it should.
They have also raised the challenges in terms of joblessness in the zone. In our zone, there is huge joblessness rates. In this regard, our youth have been practicing unwanted activities. They are also even practicing bad habits. This may also lead them towards criminal practices. The main reason for these problems is lack of investment in our zone. If there is investment expansion, joblessness will be reduced, she said. Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed has also responded to questions raised from the people of the zone.
I heard some of your questions before. I heard questions about hospital, road, and airport. I think you understand me when I say I heard. I don't speak anymore. Concerning Metro University, it was good to build it here, but we will talk with the concerned parties how it will help the surrounding community.
President of the Oromia Regional State, Lamma Magarsa, for his part, said that the government has been striving to respond to public grievances.
Unless it is due to lack of economic effort, we do not hesitate in investment areas. It is not for the other purpose that we have been struggling rather than solving problems of people. Therefore, we will strongly work to solve your problems in all we afford.
Ministry of Urban Development and Construction expressed its support for actions urban centers are taking against illegal urban land grabbing. The Oromia Land Use and Administration Bureau has offered awareness-raising training on how to modernize land management in urban centers. Mutahaji has the story.
Administering land resource with knowledge and using modern technologies is a recent barrier that has been challenging the land management authority in Ethiopia. The problem is mainly rooted in urban centers of the country. The Oromia Land Management and Administration Bureau has offered a training for the professionals working on the problem dictated up. Some participants of the training voiced that if the laws and the regulation enacted by the government will be implemented properly, it would minimize land grabbing and misuse.
Rather than showing illegality as it is being illegal working on issues being sided to a particular group is explicitly observed in the country. My question is why laws and proclamations are not properly implemented or changed if not significant.
Head of the Oromia Land Management and Administration Bureau, Dr. Milkesa Midaga, for his past, his bureau has been managing the land resource using modern technology.
The main problem of land management in Oromia is a problem of managing urban land resource. If we want to avoid problems related with it, every leaders at all levels should work on it effectively.
Taze Governor State Minister of Urban Land Management and Construction, said lack of capacity to manage land resource has been seen in the country. He said his ministry would support the action taken against illegal land grabs in the region.
The ministry believes the land to be transferred only based on the proclamation and laws existed. Other form of land transferring process is illegal, and this is the land we had that we have been announced through the media. We refuse to announce it with having their own agendas to disseminate. We strongly support the action taken by the government in Lagatafo Lagadari against illegal constructions.
Minister of Transport Dagmait Moga said the pilots who were commanding flight ET302 10 March have followed the Boeing recommended and FAA approved emergency procedures to handle the plane that crashed in Ethiopia. The Ministry of Transport released a preliminary report on Ethiopian Airlines accident. Let Teresa has more on that.
Ethiopian Ministry of Transport has briefed media on the preliminary report about the country's airline accident. Minister of the Transport Dagmaut Moges has stated the initial findings of the investigation as follows.
The initial findings of the investigation on the basis of initial information gathered during the course of investigation, the following facts have been determined. Number one, the aircraft possessed a valid certificate of airworthiness. The second one, the crew obtained the license and qualifications to conduct the flight. And third, the takeoff roll appeared very normal. And the fourth one is the crew performed all the procedures repeatedly provided by the manufacturer, but was not able to control the aircraft.
According to her, safety recommendations have been forwarded by the investigation team and the preliminary report.
Initial information gathered during the course of investigation, 2 safety recommendations has been forwarded in the preliminary report. The first one is, since repetitive uncommanded aircraft nose-down conditions are noticed in this preliminary investigation, it is recommended that the aircraft flight control system related to the flight controllability shall be reviewed by the manufacturer. And the second one is, aviation authorities shall verify that the review of the aircraft flight control system related to flight controllability has been adequately addressed by the manufacturer before release of the aircraft to operations.
The minister said detailed report about the accident will be announced to the international community within the next 1 year.
It's painful that 157 individuals on board all died in that crash near Bishoftu town, some 60 kilometers away from capital Finfinne city, while flying to Nairobi, Kenya. White House advisor Ivanka Trump will visit Ethiopia this month. In Ethiopia, she will have a site visit and meeting with political leaders, executives, and female entrepreneurs. She will also travel to Cote d'Ivoire to attend a Women's Economic Empowerment Summit. It will be Ivanka Trump's first visit to Africa since the White House undertook the Women's Global Development and Prosperity Initiative in February. Ivanka Trump's trip to Africa is part of her efforts to promote a global women's initiative she's leading. Ivanka Trump says the goal is to economically empower 50 million women in developing countries by 2025, FBC website reported. Fairfax Africa Fund LLC U.S. Global Chairman Zamadin Nagatu said Ethiopia is playing central role in cementing regional integration. Olma Bain has compiled Anna's file.
Fairfax African Fund Limited Liable Company Global Chairperson Zamadena Nagatu said the new Ethiopian leadership has registered remarkable achievements in creating a peaceful and stable East and Horn of Africa, which is a very significant step to integrate and economically benefit people of the countries in the region. The new leadership has been taking a central role in consolidating relations and integrating the region, Zamadena told the Ethiopian news agency, adding that Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed hosted and visited most of the leaders of East and Horn of African countries to push for peace and stability after peace accord with Eritrea. According to him,
over the last several months, I think a great deal of effort has been made to harmonize relationship, to normalize relationships. The most significant one is the relationship between Ethiopia and Eritrea.
He believes that the peace accord with Eritrea has contributed to the regional stability and economic ties. The normalization of relations with Eritrea is indicating economic significance after Ethiopian Airlines resumed flight to Asmara, and pretty soon Ethiopians will start using Eritrean ports. Besides, Ethiopia has played a central role to mediate countries in the region to facilitate economic integration after Ethio-Eritrean peace accord. Furthermore, the Zamadena underlined the dividend of peace in the region to attract investments.
And also speaking from a global perspective, from a global multinational investors perspective, they would like to see they don't like to see a country by country investments, which is very expensive. So when they see the whole region, 8, 10, 12 countries, stable, reliable, welcoming, then these big investors will be more comfortable to invest significant sums, maybe in one of the countries, maybe in the two countries, but servicing all of them, which benefits all of them.
According to Zamadena, economic growth of a given country has a positive effect on its neighboring country's economy because of the proximity. Quote, take a look at Djibouti, he explained. Ethiopia's economy has continued to make Djibouti's economy grow. It positively affects and will continue to positively affect other neighboring countries with the way things are progressing now. As a diplomatic seat of the African Union and other regional organizations, and with its dominant economy and role on regional organizations, Ethiopia is striving to stabilize and consolidate relations and economic ties in East and Horn of African region.
Welcome back. The Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, established a task force on the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden during the meeting of the IGAD Committee of Ambassadors. The establishment of the task force was in line with the decision of the 46th Ordinary Session of IGAD Council of Ministers, which was held in Djibouti on 27 February 2019. The task force is expected to study, review, and advise on the conclusions and recommendations of the Council and urgently chart a regional plan of action with clear timelines, IGAD said in the statement. Further, the task force will build a common position and strategy to respond to the challenges and opportunities in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden arena. The task force will coordinate its efforts with the African Union Commission in line with the decision of the Council, FBC website reported. U.S. Vice President Mike Pence has warned Turkey against buying a Russian S-400 anti-aircraft missile system that Washington sees as a threat to U.S. jets. He said Turkey, quote, must choose between remaining a key NATO member or risk the security of that partnership, caught by making such reckless decisions. Turkey responded that the purchase of the advanced system was a done deal. Ankara has been establishing closer links with Russia after recent soaring of its ties with the US and Europe. Turkey has the second largest army in NATO, a 29-member military alliance set up to defend against what was at the time the Soviet Union. Mr. Pence also rebuked Germany, another key NATO member, for not spending enough on its defense. Moscow has made no public comments on the latest developments. Relations between NATO and Russia have deteriorated over Moscow's occupation of Ukraine's Crimea Peninsula and its withdrawal from a key missile treaty, the BBC reported. Turkey is the only Muslim state, the member of NATO, and they were working together